in every five people who is infected with COVID-19 develops difficulty in breathing and requires hospital care. A month ago, my uncle was diagnosed with the virus, and he was one of those people. He was hospitalized for 3 weeks, and in all that time, he was surrounded by disease and struggles. When he was released, he seemed scared, irritated, and angry. He was a different person. He stayed in his room all day and even skipped checking his oxygen levels, making us fear that he would have to be transferred back to the ICU. My uncle was suffering from PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder. Soon, my aunt decided it was time for something different. If he was only able to focus on the past events, perhaps it was time to reinforce some positivity in the present, to inculcate a sense of hope. She told all my family members to give him a call every once in a while. He laughed and was happy for most of the day, and after repeating this for a few weeks, he was back. In general, positivity sounds like an important but overused word, as it has become fairly meaningless in everyday life, beyond the notion that we should be positive. Positive thinking is nothing but a loose term that is more than simple to dismiss. In fact, I think you just ignored it right now. Play along with me for a moment. Assume you're walking in the jungle and suddenly a lion crosses your path. The moment this happens, your brain receives and registers a negative emotion. In this case, that emotion is fear. Researchers have long known that negative emotions program your brain to try and do a certain action. When that lion walks in front of you, for example, you run. The rest of the world doesn't matter. Negativity can narrow your mind and focus your thoughts on what your brain thinks is relevant, causing a cognitive distortion where you cannot think clearly. At that very moment, you may have the choice to climb a tree, collect a leaf, or grab a stick, but your brain chooses to ignore all of these options because they appear irrelevant. Take it this way: when you're fighting with someone, the anger may consume you to the point where you can't think about anything else, thus clouding your judgment. Or when you're stressed and overwhelmed by that foot long to do list, you may find it difficult to actually start working on anything because you're paralyzed by the thought of how much you need to accomplish. Or if you feel guilty about not exercising or not eating healthy, all you think about is how little willpower you have, how you're lazy, and how you don't have any motivation. In each of these cases, your brain closes you off from the outside world and focuses on the negative emotions. On the other hand, when you're experiencing positive emotions like joy, contentment, and love, you broaden your sense of possibility and open up your mind to more options. The benefits of positive thoughts don't stop after a couple of minutes, after the good feelings fade. In fact, the most important benefit that positive thoughts provide is an enhanced ability to develop skills. Let's consider a real world example. A child who runs around outside, swinging on monkey bars and playing along with friends, develops the power to maneuver athletically and develops physical skills. He also develops the power to play with others and communicate with a team, which are social skills, and therefore also develops the ability to explore and examine the environment around him, creative skills. By doing this, the child's positivity, joy, and play help the child to build skills that are important and precious in daily life. Of course, the abilities that he or she learns will last for much longer than the emotions within them. The happiness that promoted the exploration and creation of new skills has long since ended, but the skills themselves carry on. This brings me to my next point. Positivity and negativity are contagious. We affect and are affected by the people we meet. This happens instinctively and on a subconscious level, through words, thoughts, feelings, and through body language. I'm sure you've heard the words, we're good friends, we vibe with each other. Our lingo of someone being vibey is nothing but a colloquial indication of being drawn into someone who broadcasts positivity. Most of us would avoid anyone who is broadcasting negativity, and people are more disposed to help us if we're happy. Ever heard of the placebo effect? A placebo is a substance which has no therapeutic or medicinal value. It could be in the form of an injection, of regular salt water, or even a pill, but the participant is told that it's a medicine. Surprisingly, when given a placebo, multiple participants show similar effects to those who have received a real supplement. This effect is more than positive thinking. It's believing. It's the optimism that a treatment or procedure will work. It's about creating a stronger connection between the brain and the body and how they work together. Now let's hold on to that word, optimism. Is your glass half empty or half full? How you answer this age old question about positive thinking may reflect your outlook on life, your attitude towards yourself, and whether you're optimistic or pessimistic. And yes, it affects your health greatly. Studies show that optimists are more likely to maintain a better physical health than pessimists, including greater survival rates when fighting cancer. With a positive attitude, we experience pleasant feelings. This brings the brightness to our eyes, more energy and happiness. We walk tall, our voice is more powerful, and our body language shows the way we feel. Optimists don't give up as easily as pessimists, and they are more likely to achieve success because of it. Optimists also tend to experience less stress than pessimists or realists. This is because they believe in themselves and their abilities. They expect good things to happen. As Winston Churchill correctly stated, the pessimists see difficulty in every opportunity. The optimists see opportunity in every difficulty. Positive thinking can be achieved through a few different techniques that have been proven effective, such as positive self talk and positive imagery. I will now conclude my talk with a short quote by Roy T. Bennett in his book, The Light in the Heart. More smiling, less worrying. More compassion, less judgment. More blessed, less stressed. More love, less hate.